Yeah.
The Florida-Dan Mullen reunion did not go as planned. After going 21-5 in his first 2 years in Gainesville, with 2 New Year's Six Bowl wins, Mullen went just 13-10 in his final 2 seasons, including losing 9 of the last 11 games he faced against Power 5 teams. The Gators won the SEC East just once in his 4 years in Gainesville, and after a terrible end to 2020 and just an overall terrible 2021, the Gators let him go to bring in Billy Napier to try to restore this proud program. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to break down Florida's hire of Billy Napier from Louisiana. We're going to break down everything you need to know for this hire, the Gators' 2022 outlook, and the official grade for this hire when it's all said and done. But first, before we start, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos if you have not already. All of those things just take you a few seconds, but help us out tremendously in growing our channel and bringing you 24/7, 365 college football content. Yes, college football content year-round. So do all those things, guys, and help us out. If you like this video, if you like the previous videos, and if maybe you don't, the video and the contents coming forward are going to be so much better, especially once we hit prediction season coming up very soon. So please continue to do all of that to help build up this Gridiron Expert channel. So let's dive into this hire. Let's dive into Florida's hire of Billy Napier. And first off, you have to ask, who is he? You know, for the average college football fan, this is not a name that jumps off the page. This is not a name that is household at the moment. Billy Napier, guys, for the last few years has been one of the best group of 5 coaches in the business. One of the best group of 5 coaches in the game. In 4 years with the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, them coming out of the Sun Belt Conference, Louisiana went 40-12 with 3 straight double-digit win seasons, 2 Sun Belt titles, and 2 top 20 AP poll finishes. All of that is because of Billy Napier. Ever since he arrived there back in 2018, he succeeded. He did extremely well. Went bowling every single year, and again, those last 3 years were phenomenal. And to do that at a school like Louisiana, to do that at a school within the Sun Belt Conference is extremely impressive. It's a very difficult thing to do. And when you look at Billy Napier, outside of that, you go, okay, 40-12 in 4 years, not too bad. But what's his MO? What is his, his style? Billy Napier is a fantastic offensive mind. He had 2 offensive coordinator stops before he got that head coaching position with Louisiana. Once back at Clemson, back in the late 2000s. Another at Arizona State back in 2017. That was what ultimately got him, or well, the last stop that he had before he took the Louisiana job. His Raging Cajun teams, guys, averaged over 31 points per game every single year he was there. Talk about a good offensive mind. They averaged 37.9 points per game in 2019. That was ranked 10th in the country. And that was, of course, the first year that Louisiana hit that double-digit win mark under Billy Napier. So a fantastic offensive mind that has strung together years of success. You know, he showed that 2018 and 19, they weren't a fluke. You know, 2020 wasn't a fluke. 2021 wasn't a fluke. You know, every now and then a team in the group of 5 can have one good year and then they regress. If anything, Billy Napier's teams continue to improve every single year, and the Gators are certainly hoping that's going to be the case for them now in Gainesville. When you look at the outlook for Florida and Billy Napier in his first year, obviously there's a lot of questions that have to be answered, and he has a lot of work cut out for him. He does not inherit a great situation. It's one that really Dan Mullen kind of butchered, especially in that final year in Gainesville in 2021. But Napier, in his first year as recruiting for the Gators, landed the 16th ranked recruiting class in the country. Not bad. Not the number 1 class in Florida. Miami's still beating them out, but still a 16th ranked recruiting class in the country, which is not bad at all for a first year head coach within the mighty SEC, especially in a very difficult state to recruit, such as Florida. He brings in a fantastic staff, and I think that's something that we like to focus on a lot with these new coaching hires. First off, he brings in Rob Sale as his offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator at Louisiana with Billy Napier from 2018 to 2020. Last year, spent time with the New York Giants of the NFL as their offensive line coach. And again, I can't stress enough how I feel how important bringing in NFL coaches to the college game is. They don't even have to be a head coach in the NFL. Just bringing someone in that has worked with NFL talent, that has worked with NFL players, has been on NFL staffs, bringing them back down to the college ranks is huge for the players they are working with, but to me is also a huge recruiting advantage and standpoint as well. You look at Sean Spencer. He comes in as a co-defensive coordinator along with Patrick Toney, but Sean Spencer was the defensive line coach at Penn State from 2014 to 2019, and for the last 2 years has been the defensive line coach with the New York Giants. So Rob Sale and Sean Spencer both having experience in the NFL, both with the Giants. Forget the fact that the Giants have been horrible these last few years. Just that NFL experience alone is huge, not just for those two coordinators, but for the experience and the expertise they're going to lend to the Florida Gators program. So to me, those are huge hires, and hires that can help fix this Florida team that was not good at all last year. A Florida defense that was 85th nationally against the run, averaging nearly 170 rushing yards per game, allowing that. 85th against the run. A Florida team that threw 18 interceptions last year, led the country with that. 18 interceptions. So Sale's going to work on fixing the interception problem. Spencer's going to work on fixing that run problem. And hopefully Florida can get back to their winning ways, something that Dan Mullen had in his first 2 years during his time in Gainesville. When you look at it from the player standpoint, guys, the first thing Florida has to figure out is a quarterback. They've got to find themselves a quarterback. That's really Billy Napier's first true task. Does he go with Emory Jones? Does he go with Anthony Richardson, really the fan favorite, I feel like, in Gainesville? Does he go with maybe Jack Miller III, the transfer from Ohio State? There's 3 capable quarterbacks here that could be the head man for the Gators, and hopefully he will not make the same mistake that Mullen did and try to play 2, like Mullen tried to balance Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson last year. You look at the defense. Ventrell Miller is back at linebacker, returning from injury. Brenton Cox is back on the defensive line. He led the team in sacks last year. There's a lot of potential on both sides of the ball, guys. It's just a matter of how this staff utilizes that potential and whether the players can actually live up to it. You know, whether they can live up to it and, of course, stay healthy like Miller was unable to do last year. When you look at the schedule for Billy Napier in his first year, it is a rude awakening in the SEC. You know, anytime you take the leap from a Sun Belt conference or any Group of 5 conference to a Power 5 conference, it's a major adjustment. And he's going to get a slap in the face for that. Because you look at the schedule for Florida. They open the season at home against Utah, a Utah team that won the Pac-12 last year, almost won the Rose Bowl against Ohio State in an instant classic, and a team that has Pac-12 title aspirations again, and maybe even playoff aspirations in 2022. Not an easy opening test for Billy Napier. No cupcake team to get things started. Right after Utah, they face a Kentucky team that took down Florida last year and is gaining confidence every single year under Mark Stoops. They travel to Tennessee. They travel to Texas A&M. Of course, they're going to play Georgia in Jacksonville. They host South Carolina, but an improving South Carolina team. They get to host LSU, a team that's dealing with a new coach in Brian Kelly, but still a lot of unknowns, but an LSU team that typically is pretty solid. So when you look at Florida's schedule, guys, it is absolutely brutal. Very, very tough. One where some could say they might be lucky to win 6 or 7 games just to go bowling. Florida's biggest games really come at home. That's where they're going to have to take care of business. I think they have a better chance to handle their business on the road. More wins possibly coming on the road than they do at home. Utah at home going to be tough. Kentucky at home going to be tough. Georgia, of course, a neutral site. South Carolina, no longer a slouch in the SEC, especially with the addition of Spencer Rattler. Florida has a lot of tough home games. They've got to defend their home turf if they want to try to salvage a semi-decent 2022 season. So what are we going to give this hire, guys? What do we give Billy Napier's hire at Florida? To me, this is a B+. A B+ hire. It's a risky hire in a way, too. I think anytime you bring someone up from arguably someone say the worst Group of 5 conference, and the Sun Belt improving, but the worst Group of 5 conference in the Sun Belt to the best conference in football and the SEC, that's a risky leap. But Billy Napier was a hot ticket. After all of his success at Louisiana, he was overdue for a Power 5 coaching job, and I think he was waiting for the right one. Florida, to me, is the right one. I think this is a perfect fit. Billy Napier is a hard-nosed football coach. He's a guy that demands excellence. He's a guy that knows offense. You're going to need an offense in here to try to win in the SEC, but you're also going to need a defense. And I think he recognized that by bringing in some of the coordinators that he did. He knows the region, coaching in Louisiana. He knows this South region, the Southern region. He was an analyst at Alabama at one point in his career. So I think recruiting is not going to be a big issue for him. And I think, if he can do what he did at Louisiana for 4 straight years with the talent he had there, imagine what he can possibly do with the talent that he can recruit and build during his time at Florida. Talent that many would say will be better than any talent he could get at Louisiana. The success will not come in year 1. Florida Gators fans, I can tell you that. The success will not come in year 1. It will be a rough first year for Billy Napier. One where, again, winning anywhere from 6 to 8 games might be considered a success. But going forward, I think he's going to be your right man for the job. Give him time. This is a B-plus hire for Florida and Billy Napier going into this next season. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Again, all of that, guys, helps us out tremendously in building up our channel and continuing to bring you non-stop college football content. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.